Okay guys, I got the cockpit helm taken away. All the wires are run down through the hole and just dangling down below, kind of organized. And now it's time to start cutting out the floor. I'll use my oscillating saw. You can see where I've drawn around the border here, so I'll leave a nice heavy border all the way around the boundaries to attach to. I've got a little crack right here I'm gonna have to clean up, as well as some cracks over here. So I'll do some fiberglass work once I get this top piece taken off to tidy up the damaged area and get a good seal on it. And then I'll be laying up layers in between, and then I'll go back with a new piece of fiberglass, 1/4 inch fiberglass composite material. GPO3 is what they call it. It's kind of a high-end, heavy-duty product. After that, I'll lay up on top of the GPO3 a block that'll be in place here that'll raise all this up. It'll be milled and smooth and pretty. That block will be fiberglassed together on that GPO3 board. It'll build up the height there, and then I'll finally drill through all of that and run a fiberglass tube up. It'll come up high, probably a foot or so, maybe even with this these seats. So if I ever get a big cockpit flood, the water can't get down underneath that. All the wiring is going to have to come up through that tube before it can go to different parts of the boat. So that's the process. Here's the progress. Not much to see, just a lot of talking. So that's it for now.
I'm rolling. Let's see. Is this the first piece coming up? Woo! Whoa.
A little bit of water in there.
Yeah, so pretty.
So, in case you ever wondered what it looks like underneath your cockpit sole,
This is what it's not supposed to
little
look like under your
squares
cockpit sole.
little squares of wood in zigzag formation, plywood, block here, block there, block here, block there. It's like they just use scrap to fill in the gaps down here or something.
I can't believe that didn't have a smell.
Look at that.
It's so disgusting.
A little bit of water there. So glad we're doing this now. So I was thinking about just drilling and injecting. Oh man, wouldn't even come close to solving this problem. So this is definitely the right way to do it. Film the magic.
I figure it doesn't need to always look easy.
No, it's not always easy. Actually, there's nothing easy about any of these projects. If I ever tell you that, I'm lying.
This section is not as wet, so getting this piece to come up is a little
pretty
more
wet.
challenging.
It's just not wet enough to delaminate the plywood. You know, layers of plywood on all this stuff have been soaked all the way through, so they're
Back
just
left corner popped up. He didn't even pry anything, like he lifted.
Yeah.
Wasn't even attached.
So that's delamination of the plywood that's inside. Obviously, we need it to delam not only the plywood, but also we need it to delam the fiberglass on top of that. And it's just not, it's wet, but not quite wet enough. I'm just breaking up the plywood with this chisel as I work my way down.
Talk, show us.
And trying to get it. I'm tired. I'm taking a break. All right, let's see here.
Also, you have to be flexible to work on a boat. This is not a position all men can get into. It helps.
We're talking about positions now.
Oh, it's so sexy, baby.
so I just got all the fiberglass off, cut out of the whole sole here, and as you can see, the water line is kind of like this. This is all soaked back here. It's kind of diagonal. This is a bit harder up here. It's still got moisture damage where it's run around the edges, but there's no leaking up here. This crack, I believe, was the main culprit, and then it soaked through and basically just started spreading. And this water
Not
will
under the helm?
No, I don't think the issue was under the helm. It was pretty well sealed even when I pulled it up. I think the issue was that crack, and because this is low, it just settled back here. But you can see, like, it's just completely fallen apart. So it's like that. I mean, I'm the fiberglass right there. That's it, you know. So scraping away this wood for the bulk of it is going to be pretty simple. And we'll get her down to fiberglass, and then
have a good foundation to build on.
have a good foundation. We'll clean that fiberglass and sand it so that it can receive new epoxy. And I'll use, this is a polyester resin boat. I'll use a polyester resin buildup for the bulk of it until I get to my top layers, and then I'll run an epoxy top layer as a final coat. Just polyester resin's cheaper, it's safer, a little safer to work with. It's sticky, but I don't mind it. Yeah, this wood will be harder to get out. I'll have to kind of undercut it and work it out, but I'll be able to get most of that out as well. And so that's it. Now it's time to tear out the wood. Until next time. This is one of the biggest errors we've ever had at Hallett's Sail, ever. It's by far the worst mistake I've ever made on a sailboat. And backfilling epoxy upstairs, and we got, like, I would say a good, probably, I don't know, I'll have to measure when it's all done because we've recycled a bunch of it
Got
to
that
reuse.
bucket full, and we have the trash full of drips.
Polyester
We don't know
resin.
where it's come from.
And so we're just, the girls are feeding me toilet paper, and I am proceeding to wipe as much of this stuff off as I can. Obviously, it's all over our electronics here. Our Seafrost controller is completely saturated.
Take a picture of the fridge.
The fridge has polyester resin down the container in the bottom. I'll get that out in a minute. I'm not too worried about it. Quite frankly, I think it'll pop right off the bottom if I just leave it. So, yeah, not my keenest moment here.